Hello and welcome to Macrium Reflect. This tutorial will show you how to clone a disk. The destination disk will be larger than the original source disk, and we will resize the new partitions. We will take a clone of all of the partitions on this disk and clone them to this disk. To do this, select the source disk and then select Clone this disk directly under the disk you're cloning. The clone wizard will now open. Click this link to select the destination disk. Select the destination disk from the available disks. You can click Delete Existing Partition on the destination disk to remove the partitions currently on the disk. You can also copy the new partitions over the existing ones to delete them. You can choose to leave the existing partitions on the destination if you have enough space for both those and the new partitions. Although we could drag and drop the partitions like so, it is much easier to use the Copy Selected Partitions button since we're cloning the entire disk. To resize a partition and utilize the unallocated space on the larger disk, click Cloned Partition Properties. Here we have three options. We can now change the partition size manually with the slider, or precisely by typing a size, or we can fill the remaining space with this button, which I'll use this time. Please note that if the partition that you need to resize is not the last partition on the disk, you will need to drag the partitions down and resize the partition before dragging down the partitions after it. This is where you can add schedules for your clones, which is optional. To add a schedule, click Add Schedule. There are a number of options for scheduling your clone. Choose a schedule that suits your requirements, for example, every Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m. You can edit your schedule by using the Edit Schedule button. Let's add Fridays and change the time to 11 a.m. You can delete a schedule by using the Delete Schedule button. When you're done with your schedule, click Next. Review your settings before proceeding. When you are happy, click Finish. You can decide to run the clone now or later. You can also choose to save the XML backup definition file using a default or custom name. This file can be used to run the clone again later manually and is used for scheduled clones. Click OK. This warning tells you that the data on the target disk will be lost. It will be overwritten completely. This is unrecoverable, so please ensure that the target disk contains no important data before you start. Click Continue only if you're sure it's safe. The cloning process now starts. We will skip forward a few minutes here. Your cloning speed will always be limited by the slowest link in the chain. For a modern PC, this is typically the source or destination storage media or hard disk, or the communication link. The clone of drive C has now been mounted by Windows and assigned the drive letter D. The clone has been created. Here you can review your backup log. Click Close to close this window. This is the XML backup definition file for the clone. You can use this to rerun the same clone at any time. The clone disk can now be used to boot the PC. Please note that Windows cannot be booted from USB-attached hard drives. Thank you for watching.